freestyle it anyway.
Notes?
No, because everything is in the paint book.
Okay.
So the hot stone therapy massage, although stones have been used in rituals for a very long time, in sacred Native American rituals like sweat lodges, they create like a stone fire and burn herbs, and the stone circles are very sacred, and lots of different rituals use sacred stones and gems, and also honouring the earth. So stone therapy was originated in 1993 by a lady called Mary Nelson. And Mary Nelson is from Arizona in the United States. And for into the 70s, she was working as a therapist in all the spas and basically working out how she can incorporate, so for a very long time, incorporating and looking at using stones, you know, sort of in the sauna, looking at working with stones and how heat and hot and cold temperature affects the body. And so she was looking at how she could incorporate working with stones into the spa world. And she found that working with what's called basalt, and it's spelt B-A-S-A-L-T, basalt. And basalt it's a lava rock, it's a volcanic rock. So it erupts out of the volcanoes and explodes and comes down through the mountains and then ends up falling into the riverbeds and then is tumbled in the riverbeds for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. And these are the earth's wisdom. They carry the earth's wisdom. And there was a company called Stone Forest, which is associated to Mary Nelson, and she developed what was called Lastone therapy, and Lastone is the original stone therapy training. I was very lucky, and I trained with Lastone, and I trained with a lady called Jane Scrivener, who was trained by Mary Nelson, and she brought it to the UK. And I was trained by her. It was fantastic. It was a week residential training. And they had these stones from a company called Stone Forest. And they would go to Peru and harvest their stones and do a blessing and a ritual and take them from the earth and create these very beautiful sets for Lastone therapy. So in the 90s, it was developed in the United States. And then it came over here shortly after, sort of mid-90s, it came to the UK and became very popular. As in like top spas had Lastone. And so basically the original source of, or the original style with Lastone is that you lie upon and below these basalt stones. So back to the basalt, is it retains the heat for a very long time because it's volcanic. It stays hot for a long time. So there's various sizes, and what we'll do is we'll be looking at a kit and a whole set, and you can get very, very small stones to very, very large stones. The larger ones retain the heat for longer. The smaller stones do become hot, but they lose the heat very quickly. So there's various different stone sizes and shapes, and they all have a different job to do, and that's what I'm going to teach you. And so the method of alternating hot and cold temperature is called thermotherapy. And I'm sure if you've been into nice spas, they have these, not all spas do it, but nowadays, even if it's a cold shower, but you can have a cold plunge, where you go into a heat treatment like a sauna or a steam, and you sit and you get very, very hot, and then you plunge into cold. And then you go back and you get very hot and you plunge into cold. Similarly, naturopaths and osteopaths recommend that sometimes you do hot showers and frozen peas, like a bag of frozen peas in a hot shower. And the alternating of hot and cold temperature has the blood go vasodilation and then vasoconstriction, vasodilation and vasoconstriction. And what you're getting is this natural blood pump. It's called a vascular pump, and it does that. And what that is, it works, they say in Lastone and in this practice, they say it penetrates 10 times deeper into the muscles to bring that fresh blood and that fresh oxygenated blood into the muscles, where you get stiff and sore and stagnant muscles. The fresh oxygenated blood, by this vasodilation, vasoconstriction, works very, very quickly to relax and help movement and get some more chi and blood and lymphatic flow. So that's the benefit of the hot and the cold. The cold that we use, there's different. In my sets, I use marble. Here at college, we've got, it's called cold marine. But you can also use jade. Oh. You can use jade. You can use rose quartz is nice. And basically you put them on ice. So here we've only got limited stones, so we're going to just put them in cold water. But they do go very cold. But ideally, when you go into spas, they will. In fact, some spas don't have cold, and some courses don't teach cold. There are a lot of courses that just teach hot stone massage, and that's the difference between hot stone massage and hot stone therapy. I like to teach hot stone therapy, which is the geothermotherapy. It's the alternating of hot and cold temperature. Geo means earth. Thermo is temperature and therapy is therapy. So geothermotherapy is what hot stone therapy is. Earth, alternating hot temperature therapy. So I'm going to teach you that. I'm going to teach you what I learned and how I was trained. So I'm going to teach you like the original, how it was originally intended, rather than some courses that just teach hot. When you just teach hot, it's a little bit like when you have a boiling hot bath, or you go into the sauna and then you come out and you're just like, you have to sort of sit down a bit, feel a bit like, feel a bit woozy. Whereas if you have a very cool shower, a cold plunge, you actually feel like, oh God, I feel fantastic. You feel enlivened and invigorated and not woozy, and that allows the blood capillaries to retract so you don't feel too hot and overwhelmed. So there's lots of detail, and I want to just give you an overview in this lesson. The other thing that's really interesting is in the Native American tradition, they actually really honour the stones and really honour the earth, and they call these stones the Stone Clan people. They call them their Stone Clan people, and they recognise that it's Mother Earth and Father Sky, and that everything has a consciousness and everything has an energy, and that these stones that come from the earth carry the earth's wisdom, they carry the strength and support of the earth, and that's what they offer us as well. When we're working with these stones, they offer all those properties. So they're really beautiful. I'm going to teach you all the rituals of how to take care of your stones, how to charge your stones, how to cleanse and purify them. So we're also going to work with the semi-precious stones and the chakra stones and how to just do a stone placement. Let me just have a quick look and make sure that I've took everything that's coming straight in. Sorry about this, just close up. Yeah. And we'll go through this textbook and make sure that we are close to the iTech syllabus, because there's lots more to teach you, and I'm going to teach you a lot more outside of the iTech syllabus, because I was trained by Lastone that I kind of want to bring you the whole picture rather than limit it to just what's in the book. Okay, so yeah, these are, yep, I've said that, yeah. So we'll go through and we'll look at these key points. Yep. 10 times deeper, yeah, we'll look at all of that, great. Okay, chakras, this is the bit where we do have to learn about chakras and the different stones that go with the chakras. We learn a bit about auras, we'll do that at another class. Good, and we'll look at the contraindications, we'll look at the type of moves we do. I think that's fine for now. I'm going to pretty much pause there, and then if there's anything else I need to add, I can make another vid. Okay.